They said the truth won't survive beside the lies that maintain the decaying faces of this place.
Hey everybody, what's up, man? It's Hold the Truth Hostage, where if the truth was so important, we wouldn't negotiate with lies. We would hold the truth hostage. JP, what's good, man? What's up, brother, man? My bad for the delay. I had like a PC issue, man, where my main PC isn't working, so I just switched to the laptop. But yeah, man, yo, JP, man, I've been telling you, bro, write something, man. You gotta, you got too sharp of a mind. You got put it on the old paper, man. Put it on paper, bro. But man, this stream, I wanna thank everybody for the support. And I mean, look at it, man. Finally, man. Finally. You know what I'm saying? I finished it. I know I've been saying, yo, I'm gonna write a book for 2 years or like a year, but it's written. It's written now, and man, it's a great thing to actually you know, have a book ready, you know. So to me, man, I wanna thank everybody for the support, and wanna let you all know, man, this is important, man. This ain't just for me. This is this has a lot of meaning behind it because, man, the truth is this, man. I've been telling guys this for years. You're going against you're going against when it comes to advertisement and marketing, you know, you're going against this stuff 24/7, man. 24/7 you're going against, and you're going to face what's going on. You're going to face all the advertisement, all the marketing, all this anti-male this, anti-male that. And to me, man, it's important that we put out books, man. It's important that we write something and put something out, because even while I'm on YouTube now, man, I don't I haven't made a lot of videos in a while. I haven't made a lot of videos in a while. And let me check the audio quick. Give me 1 minute. I gotta check my audio. Let me just mute myself. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 minute. So the audio works, man. And the importance of this book, and shout out to MD. MD wrote a lot of books, and he wrote The Black Pill. He wrote a lot of books on the manosphere. And the reason I think these books are important is that, man, you can take them with you. You can take this book with you, man. And whenever the messaging comes, because I've been telling guys this for years, for over 5 years, you can't compete with the messaging. There's over $1 trillion spent on the marketing. You know what I'm saying? So I know what you're thinking. Well, $1 trillion, that can't be. No, there's literally over $1 trillion spent on the marketing. And what I mean by the $1 trillion is that it's the marketing of course, where you're at in the United States. Then there's Americanized countries, and they're intermixing their marketing, and you get the same messaging. You'll look at Germany and you're like, yo, what's going on in Germany is going on in America. You'll look at Australia, they're all intertwined, you know, and you see the messaging. You look at billboards, you look at music, every messaging is there. And, I think it's important that we take the books, we support the books, because I remember I bought all of MD's books. I bought them all. You know what I'm saying? All of them on Amazon. It's important that we support these because, in my honest opinion, man, the way YouTube, like, y'all don't see it. I'm on my section on StreamYard, and I'm looking at YouTube bouncing the views between 1 and 0. You know, that's another reason a part of me, this is what I give YouTube, where they're winning, is that, part of you just, you don't care about YouTube anymore, man. You know what I'm saying? You get tired of the combat, you know what I'm saying, fighting this you know what I'm saying, fighting this algorithm and all this bullshit, man. You get tired of it, bro. You know what I'm saying? You get tired of it. And the reason this book is important, and the reason I ask you to support this book, isn't just to support me, but it's for you to walk around with something that you'll have in your hands that you could read, and it has all the answers I've focused on. I didn't sugarcoat it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't sugarcoat it at all. Oh, Bronze Bird, what's good, man? What's good, brother? What's good? What's up? You know what I'm saying? And the reason I say it's important we support these books is that, yo, you could get it in your hands. You get it, you take it home, because the thing is this, man, with how much YouTube interferes with what I'm doing, you know, you got what is it? You look at the sub count of the channel, you're like, yo, man, Hold the Truth Hostage is at over 1,000 subs. Why are the views the way they are, man? Because the messaging, what I'm talking about, goes against, you know, over over tens, hundreds of billions of dollars. So, and at the end of the day, this is their platform. You know, they'd rather you be on something like BetterHelp. You know what I'm saying? A fast food psychology thing. You pay them to help you out, whatever. And the reason I say, man, and I want to thank people, and I made sure the book is very small. You could carry it with you, take it with you. And the other reason I'm encouraging you to support is that it's free on Amazon. If you got Amazon Prime, is that, man, you could review it. You leave reviews, man. Share your thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what I've done, what I've written, any ideas you've had, and what you want to talk about, because the thing about writing this book was that, man, it's like a portable version of this channel to a certain extent, and what I did with Manvantage, that's very different than the usual stuff, is that Manvantage was written without the pills in mind. You don't need to know the black pill. You don't need to know none of that. You know what I'm saying? I wrote it basically as just raw information. And of course, like I've been telling guys for years, I wrote it basically to ensure that you face what you're most scared of. The biggest thing the American man fears, the biggest thing any man fears that's in an Americanized country, is their manhood. Your manhood is the most horrifying thing to you. You know, that's what you fear. That's why I wrote Manvantage, with the goal of the entire perspective of this book was written from the perspective of a male vantage point. You have to understand as a man that you still have an advantage. You know what I'm saying? I know we've been on the YouTube, the Manosphere. We've been on here for I've been on the Manosphere for over I think I've been on the Manosphere for over damn near over 8 years, you know. And one message they keep putting out there in the Manosphere is this defeatist message that we men have lost. We men are wounded animals. We men have been beaten. We men have been abused. That's a lie. The thing is this, man, we men haven't been defeated, man. Defeat for a man, especially in the westernized country, is a choice. You know what I'm saying? I've been telling guys, man, shout out to the homie, damn, I think the homie's name was either ex camper or you know what I'm saying? My mind is a little warped trying to remember one of the homies' names, you know what I'm saying? But the thing is this, man, you gotta understand that in fact, you know, you gotta understand that we men are being trained to lose. You're being trained. You're being trained to wake up and carry defeat as though a badge of honor. And then you got all these other organizations and stuff telling you, well, you know, you're defeated. Here's how to become stronger, how to become a stronger man, this and that. You know what I'm saying? The advertisement is all built on defeat. You know what I'm saying? Here's how to rebuild yourself as a man, you know? When in truth, man, dude, you don't need to be rebuilt. Nothing about you needs to be rebuilt. You know what I'm saying? You need to realize that you haven't been defeated. You know what I'm saying? You're a victor. A lot of men need to if a lot of men understood that, you know what I'm saying, you are not defeated, man. You haven't lost anything. You know what I mean? I'm gonna keep the book near my, you know, under my neck or whatever. But you haven't lost, man. You haven't been defeated. You know, the whole narrative of men in America right now and men in Americanized countries is this narrative that you've been defeated, that there's something wrong with you, you know, that you're losing because you're a man. When in reality, bro, the whole goal is to blind you into following defeat. You know what I'm saying? It's to blindfold you into following defeat and claiming that you have been beaten. When in truth, man, yo, there ain't nothing wrong with you, man. Nothing wrong with you. If you're healthy, you know what I'm saying, you don't have a disability, you don't have any problems, what's wrong? You know, I've been telling guys this in my channel for years, man. For years now, you know, with the content I've been putting out, that you have to understand, man. They want you to walk around and claim defeat. They want you to claim defeat as your virtue, you know, because this is what the whole toxic masculinity, you know, all these movements were about. These movements were about training men to look in the mirror and say, well, I was born a man, I've been defeated. You know, that's why I made these videos called, you know what I'm saying, as a response to the what they call a high value man. I made a video called High Value Target. That's what you are. You know, you're a target. You're a target for mental manipulation to have you claim defeat. Like, do you need to defeat a man when he's already claimed he's beaten? You don't need to. You know, you don't need to defeat that man. He's already beaten mentally and psychologically. And that's the whole narrative right now, man. The narrative is to have you buy into defeat, have you say your very existence is to be defeated. You know what I'm saying? That's the narrative, man. That's the narrative that's being sold. You know, that you've already been beaten. You need to accept you've been beaten and that you've been defeated. When in reality, man, you haven't been beaten at all, man. And that's why I wrote this book, man. When you read the book Manvantage, you know what I'm saying? You're not gonna get a 12-step plan. You're not gonna get all these other things that, other people are selling to you. What I'm selling you is basically to look at yourself and understand that defeat as a man is a choice. The way the system is designed is you got to buy into it. That's why this whole matrix and this whole we don't have freedom of choice thing, it's BS. It's just a bunch of people that don't want to be accountable for their decisions. And what they've been training men over the years is that, oh, you don't have freedom of choice, you don't have this, you don't have that. They have to have you buy into uh, buy into the messaging. I gotta look for something. Give me 1 minute. I look for an outlet. Yeah, I found it. Found the outlet. Give me a minute. Found the outlet, man. Cause this laptop, it burns, man. This laptop burns like the sun. You know what I mean? So, but like I said, man, I wrote this book. And some people might say it's cheesy, whatever, but dude, I wrote this book for every man dealing with the narrative that they are a problem for being a man. You know what I'm saying? If you want the solution, you know, the solution for all these problems is very simple, man. You know what I'm saying? The solution isn't trying to rebuild yourself and all this crap. No, man, the solution to what you're facing as a man is to be able to look at the world and accept that, man, they want you to sell out yourself. There's this whole narrative of sellouts. And a lot of men think, well, a sellout is someone that sold their soul for gold and money and all that stuff. No, the sellout is a man who sells off his manhood. You know, that's the number one thing they want you to give up is your manhood. Once you've given up your manhood, they can mold you. They can mold you into anything they want, man. And that's why you see everything you look at, entertainment, movies, film, music. You got rappers since the 2010s wearing dresses. Look up a Young Thug album cover. Young Thug literally wore a dress, and you know the multi-billionaire execs. You know what I'm saying? He wore dresses to impress multi-billion-dollar execs that know the plan. The plan is simple. If you can get a man to abandon his manhood, you know what I'm saying? Now you can add on to the anti-straight male voting power. And the anti-straight male voting power is basically what they've created and the government has created since 1920. The whole goal of the female vote was to, with the same liberties as the men in the country, was to counter the male vote, to counter it and give the government, someone they've already bribed. They already own the female vote because the way the female vote was given was not earned like the male vote. You know what I'm saying? And the government gave it. And to increase the female vote, they need men to identify as women. That's the goal, man. That's the goal, man. Now this stream isn't gonna be, super long, man. 'Cause, I gotta, some things have changed work wise and schedule wise and all that. Some things have changed. But one thing you gotta understand is with this book, I've covered everything, man. And I don't mean to sound like, oh, this is a Bible, but in all honesty, man, I'd say you're better off walking around with this in your book bag, walking around with this with you, what I'm saying, when you're traveling, when you hear the messaging, what I'm saying, the messaging of your toxic masculinity, this and that. Cause dude, I've covered, I got about, let me take a look, how many chapters I got in here. Give me 1 second. Yeah, man. And the beauty about this book is that it ain't long. Yo, this book is just, let me look at it quick. The book is 60, y- you know, the book is 67 pages, man. 67 pages, the Manvantage. And let me tell you what I cover in this book, man. I have the introduction where I introduce myself. And shout out to the homie Jose, man. Shout out to C.1 who told me to start this channel from day one. Shout out to the homie, you know, uh, shout out to the homie, what I'm saying, JP Hives. Shout out to the homie ex camper. Let me look at the Discord quick. What I'm saying, because the name, my head is a little it ain't 100% the same. Give me 1 second. The homie. Oh, the homie, man. Give me a second. Give me a second. Shout out to the homie DVD, man. You know what I mean? Shout out to, let me see who's here on the Discord, the homies. Shout out to Ojit, man. Shout out to Nez, man. Shout out to the homie Kalala, Camper Slayer. Shout out to all the homies, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all of y'all, man. Because, they've made the straight male. They've demonized straight men for thinking other men. Shout out to all the homies, man. Shout out to all the friends. Shout out to everybody that supported me, man. Watch the channel, man. We talked on Discord. Shout out and thank you. I want to thank you, you know, because they've made it they've demonized the straight man thinking other men, thinking. But let's look at what I cover. Look at the table of context. I cover born target, born target. I cover the born target. And here's the thing, man, the book is burned in my brain. You know what I'm saying? I made sure that I titled it in a way where you're like, yo, you read the chapter title, you understand it. You know what I'm saying? I kept it very simple. This book is 5.99, 67 pages. Kept it super simple because that's what men want now, man. Men are tired of a filler society, man. Feeding off of fillers and stuff that just takes too damn long. Just give me the answer, man. Because life wants to give me the problems. They want to give you the problems like this. So why don't you give me the answer as fast or faster? So the thing is this, I got the introduction where I introduce myself and I let you know straight off the bat. I let you know this book is for heterosexual men. This is a straight man's book. You know what I'm saying? This is for straight men. You know what I'm saying? I'm a straight man and who I'm writing for straight men. You know, our perspective and what we're dealing with. So I wrote the book for straight men and I let you know that in the introduction that yo, if you're not straight, this book ain't for you, man. You know what I'm saying? Point blank and simple. This ain't for you if you're not straight. It's very simple. So, the first chapter, Born Target, what I talk about the first chapter is You got to understand, once you're born a male, you're a target. You're by virtue of being born a man in a government that sees men as the enemy and sees men as nothing more than your value is obtained by sacrificing your life on behalf of the government and so on, you're born a target. As soon as a doctor identifies the sex of a child and the doctor says, well, that's a man, that's a male. Oh, ESP, my brother, was good, man. ESP, my man, was good, bro. See the fishing. What's up, man? Chilling. Yo, good seeing you, bro. So the first chapter is born target because as soon as you enter a anti-male society, or as I call it, the male limitation society, you're a target. You're a target, man. And no one's gonna tell you this. People are gonna tell you, well, if you're a Chad, if you look, you're a Tyrone. If you're an Aladdin, yo, ESP, man, always good to hear, man. You doing all right. We healthy, we living, we solid, you know. But to get back to it is that dude, once you're born a male, you're a target. You're a target, man. You know, being a Chad, being a Tyrone, being I'm creating a new word from now on, man. We don't, people could say Chad all they want, but being a Brady, being a Tom Brady, that's gonna be the new one. Being a Tom Brady, it don't mean nothing. What is Tom Brady? Tom Brady's a male. He's a male. He's a target. He's a target, man. You know, as soon as you're born, the way the government works in this society, westernized society, and again, man, I love America. God bless America. Love it. You know, what I'm saying? I'm a person who speaks on America's potential. America hasn't reached its potential yet, man. It hasn't fully peaked, you know. America's true potential. I probably plan to write a book or something on America's true potential. But I'll tell you this, America hasn't reached its full potential yet, man. You know, it had its moments where it could have. But let's get back to it. You're born a target. The way the government works is like this. You know, if you're born a male, the government sees you in the West, where we are now, as a problem. This is why they don't want households with the father. They don't want households with the father and a stable family, and that stability is built on the father, the household, and everything. They don't want that because if for example you have a family that depends on the father, they don't depend on the government. You know what I'm saying? It's really simple. The father being stable in this system is it interferes with the government being the source of stability for that family. You know, this is why you're born a target. You know what I'm saying? You were born a target. A lot of guys watch other videos where they tell you, oh, you gotta make some money, you gotta have these looks and that and this. That doesn't matter. You were born a sex that the government views as problematic. You know what I'm saying? Y'all really think this whole toxic masculinity thing is just feminism and the corporations? No, man, it's the government. The government's letting you know exactly how it feels about the male population. The male population is a toxin. And what you got to understand about toxins, what a lot of men in the manosphere, online, men in general don't understand is that you can survive dealing with a toxin. You know what I'm saying? Give me 1 minute. You can survive dealing with a toxin, man. You know, you're not gonna, you know what I'm saying? You can survive dealing with toxins. Let me put the book on here. Give me 1 second. Let me Give me 1 second. Yeah, you can survive dealing with toxins. And the way the government is working is that it views its male population as a toxin. You know what I'm saying? It views you as a toxin. And what it once it once the government has deemed you a toxin, you know what I'm saying? The government still sees you existing. It doesn't want you, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't want you eliminated or deleted. The government still needs men here and there. The government still needs some men, here and there. You know, you're a toxin. Now, if you were poison, yeah, you would have been fully removed a while ago. You know what I'm saying? God damn, man, it won't let me fully share. Give me 1 second, guys. Give me 1 minute. Fucking YouTube. Give me 1 second. Yeah, let me. Oh man, this is what I try to tell people about YouTube, man. I'm on here and I can't even see my live chat. Yo, it won't even let me see my live chat to interact with it on my own channel, you know? And a lot of people be thinking, "Oh, hold the truth hostage. You're paranoid, man. You're paranoid." And, you know, oh, now it shows up. Now all of a sudden YouTube will let me see it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, give me a minute. Give me 1 second, man. What the fuck's wrong with this shit? Uh, Give me 1 minute. Give me 1 second, my brothers. Oh, the words of one of the greatest wrestlers in the world, man, Devon. Oh, my brothers, testify. You know what I'm saying? God, you gotta testify, man. Give me 1 second. Fucking Amazon, man. Whatever, man. Fuck it. Yeah, but like I was saying, man, the thing is this, man. I made sure I wrote it. It's very short, but like I was saying, you were born a target. Once they see you are the male sex, you're a target. You know. Now, if you're not the male sex in the United States of America, if you're not that, you know, let me see what the homie Doodle Squatch said. It's okay to be paranoid because no matter who you are, I guarantee there's someone out. Oh yeah, to get you. Yeah, I mean we're a target. You were born a target, man. You were born a male. That's why I wrote. That's why the first chapter I got born. You might not be able to see it, but born target. You were born a target. And a lot of men don't understand that. They think, well, I'm in the West. If I'm successful, I get money, this and that. No, it doesn't change. Money doesn't change the fact that you're a man. You're a target, brother. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be aware of that. The homie SP, he posts, you're a target, you know, and you're a target for destruction, you know. The way the government works, and I remember I made this video a while ago. I told you a lot of guys here in America think, well, that woman's single. The woman I'm with is single. No such thing. The way the government already claims dibs. As soon as the way it works is this: when a man's born, the government's like, that's a target. Let him make money so he can become a higher value target. You see, when they say high value men, no such thing as a high value man. You're either a high value target, low value target, mid value target. We're all targets. You know, one man could lead a revolution. One man. You know what I'm saying? Why do you think they keep pushing this narrative that we all need to come together? We need to gather thousands of people to make a change. That's a lie. If you look at society and you look at history, it's always come down to one man. You know, one high value target could literally change the face of a country. You know, how many men died for Alexander the Great? How many men died for Shaka Zulu? You know what I'm saying? How many men died for you know what I'm saying, in Haiti's revolution, you know what I'm saying? How many men have died? You know, and the homie SP's putting it right there. Volunteers can't be victims. You know, and the reason he brings that up is I've been telling people they want you to volunteer to be a victim by not thinking you're a target. You know, the way the system works, you're either a high value target, low value target, mid value target, or a potential target. Either way, you're a target. And a lot of men just don't understand it. They don't understand what's going on. They think they can defeat the system and change the country. You can't. A lot of people hearing this would say, "Oh, hold the truth hostage is he's a defeatist." You know what I'm saying? He's a defeatist. He's pessimistic. No, bro. I'm just telling you the math. I'm mathematical. You know, man's greatest invention. You know, our greatest invention has always been math. Math is the greatest thing we've mastered and we've created. Math. We don't even need to talk. Like let's be honest. I think math came before language. You know, math came before language. Now they train you when you go to school. Oh man, you got to learn your language and all that. No, they want to push in your head that language, as in you writing a couple words, letters, whatever, comes before math. No, like me and you, we could walk outside right now. You look at me, I look at you. We got body language. Body language came before verbal language. You know what I'm saying? Math came before verbal language. You give a baby, for example, you give a baby 3 apples. Let's just say you gave a baby 3 apples. Now, in your mind, you're going to think, well, that baby doesn't know it has 3 apples. No, the baby knows when it runs out of apples. So that means that baby knows math. You know what I'm saying? The baby knows when it runs out of apples. So I think the when it comes to language, we got the body language, then we got mathematics, then you have to learn verbal language. You know what I'm saying? I think it's in that order. But when you go to school, when they try to teach you, what are they teaching you? They're teaching you the priority should be verbal language, then math. You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing about verbal language. If somebody's coming from a different culture, y'all ain't gonna be able to talk. You know what I'm saying? But you could somewhat show them math. The math doesn't change. It doesn't matter what language you speak or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Math does not change. Math is universal. you know but they don't want you to become so mathematical, because that will be too much in your man vantage. God forbid you look at the world from a mathematical perspective. If you were to look at the world from a mathematical perspective, everything will be math. You would always weigh out the what you could obtain, what you could lose. Every move you would be doing would be mathematical. And once everything's mathematical, guess what? Emotion no longer has power over you. Look at while I'm talking to you guys, look at Lady Justice. Look at Lady Justice. A lot of people say, well, justice is blind. A lot of people think that, justice is blind. No, Math, the you know what I'm saying, the mind towards math is blind. She's holding a scale, but she can't see the scale to do the math. This is how they train you to exist in society. We want you to value the verbal language over math. We want you to be blind to the scale of life. You know what I'm saying? Once they get you blind from the scale, once they get you to look away from mathematics, guess what you did? You sold out your manhood. You sold it out. Man has always been mathematical. Think about the whole hunters and gatherers thing. Okay, hunters and gatherers, right? So, what are hunters and gatherers doing? The hunters are trying to do addition by trying to add, by going to hunt and add something to eat. And the process of them eating is subtracting what they have hunted down to eat. Then the gathers are going to, you know what I'm saying, they're going to add food and gather it. Then when they run out by subtracting it through the process of eating, they run out of food. So what is a hunter and gatherer society? It's mathematical, man. It's math. It's mathematical, man. You know what I'm saying? Once you start looking at everything from a mathematical perspective, that's why I used to tell guys all the time, yo, the black pill, man, it's mathematical. Man's entire perspective is math. Everything we do is is minus, you know what I'm saying? It's always math. Everything we do is math. You know what I'm saying? You're hungry, guess what you're going to do? You're going to get food, aka add food within your presence. Then when you eat the food, you're subtracting the amount of food you had. And once you subtracted enough food, you can run out of food. But in eating that food, you're adding it to your body until you burn it out. You burn it off, aka meaning you subtract it from your body after adding it. Everything we do is mathematical. And if you were to prioritize the way you look at society from a mathematical perspective, you would understand that math has no emotion. There's no emotion in math. Math is very simple, man. 5 plus 5 is 10. You know what I mean? That's it. There's no room for discussion. There's no room for emotion. 5 plus 5 is 10. That's it. That's it, man. Let's get back to what I was saying. But like I said, you're born a target, you know, and what I mean by that is the government sees you as a man in this male limitation society. You're a target. They see you as a target. Will you be a high value, low value, mid value, potential value? You know what I'm saying? That's how it works. Now, on the female perspective, the government sees property. It takes a claim off of that. The government takes the claim. As soon as a woman is born, they claim her. You know what I'm saying? She's claimed government property. That's how the system works here. Government property. That's why a lot of guys saying, well, she's single, this and that. No, the government has already chosen her from birth. Once the sex is identified as female, government property. That's how the government works. It swoops, it takes. That's a voter to filter out and cancel out the male vote. I mean, look at it. I think what was it? Wasn't Hillary Clinton Secretary of Defense? Think of that. Secretary of Defense of the country was Hillary Clinton. You know what I'm saying? If you could correct me if I'm wrong. So it wasn't male. The majority of people going to war will be the men. The men will go to the war. That's how it is. It's always gonna be like this, you know. So you got a woman like Hillary sending the majority to war. You know, the men that'll go to war anyway. So you know, and the reason I say you're born a target is that, and like the homie SP was saying, volunteers can be victims. Is that once a man thinks, well, I'm not a target, man. Whatever Hold the Truth hostage is saying, he's pessimistic. You know, this is all his perspective on things. Then you're gonna volunteer. You're gonna volunteer to be a victim, and a volunteer can be a victim. I'm gonna give you an example. If you told someone that, you know, come kidnap me. You know what I'm saying? Come kidnap me in a white van, and they show up and you go in their white van. Are you a victim? No, you're a volunteer. You're not a victim. So when you see men invest into this system from an emotional perspective, you know what I'm saying, and they get involved with the system, be it love, whatever it is, emotional aspects of said man, he volunteered. You volunteered, man. You know what I'm saying? You volunteered to be a victim, and I know they built the manosphere on other men coddling other men. You know, most of the manosphere videos you'll hear, guys, we're the victims, and we need to come together. We need love, and we need to care. And why don't they love us, man? And where's the love for us, dude, man? That's a bunch of BS. You know, it's a bunch of men trying to get you to open up, be overly emotional so they can eventually get you in the closet. You know what I'm saying? Get you in the closet, you know? Because that's the goal. Once you've destabilized the straight male now is an easy target. You know, he's an easy target for you know, rainbow riding men that their number one trophy is a straight man. You know, it's like I be telling guys, bro, if anybody here you slept with a lesbian, all the homies will be, oh man, yo, he turned out a lesbian, even though, you know, I don't believe in this whole lesbian stuff. You know what I'm saying? To me, that's a joke, you know. But like I said, man, that was chapter one, and I'm telling people it's available on Amazon right now, and you could get the Manvantage. You could take it wherever you're going. I don't know if you're taking a flight, you're traveling. You could at least open this book, and you know you can basically recharge your mind. You know, because like I tell guys, like I said when I started this stream, there's literally hundreds of billions of dollars being spent telling you're a toxic masculine male. You're toxic. Straight men are the biggest threats to society. You know what I'm saying? Hundreds of billions of dollars, you know? And the other reason I wrote the book is that, man, you know, I look at it as I put everything I can from a, you know, male vantage point on this. So now if you're trying to ask me something, man, just read the book. If you read the book, you know what I'm saying, you'll know whether I've answered things. Then if it's not in the book, you could come back and say, well, Hold the Truth, what happened here? Or you go to the channel. You know, I've made over 600 videos. You know what I'm saying? My brother D Man was good, bro. Looking forward to his book. Soon as I finish the one I'm reading now, thanks, Hold the Truth. And yo, my brother, man, D Man 50, man, respect and thank you, man. Thank you very much, man. Truly means a lot, man. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like I'm saying, man, the book, I made sure that I didn't waste your time, you know, because I think the men, like I've been telling guys, is the men of 2020s, the men of now want they want the answers, man. They don't care about we don't care about the idealism. We don't care about the reasons. We don't care. We want the answers. That's it, man. Give me the answers, man. Give me the math. Give me 5 plus 5 equals 10. Men are tired of all this. We could save the world. This idealism. Idealism is poison. You know what I'm saying? It's poison. If it's not mathematical, it's poison. You can have a whole ideal of the world. We all got different ideals. My ideal world might be, what I'm saying, giraffes. Giraffes instead of horses. People riding giraffes. Your ideal perspective might be, the ideals. The math isn't all 100% there. You know, but the way I wrote the book, man, you will read this book, and the best thing is you'll keep coming back to read it because I can guarantee one thing when I wrote this book is, man, I didn't sugarcoat it. I didn't. You might hate me a little reading this book, but like I told you, that's good. That's good. You might be angry because this tells you what you haven't known your whole life, man. You know what I mean? This book will tell you when you look in the mirror. When you look in the mirror, go closer towards your manhood. Don't fear it. Don't run away from it. Accept your manhood. You know what I'm saying? The majority of stuff we watch and listen to, it's all about you being anti-male, hating yourself, talking all this failure. Oh man, why doesn't a beautiful woman love me? Like, why would a beautiful woman love you, a stranger? She doesn't even know you. And why are you obsessed with this love at first sight, movie stuff? And then why are you trying to find love in a society where they've deemed you a problem, a target? Why would you a target? Think about it. Why would you a target where they're literally hunting you down? This is where you want to, what I'm saying? This is where you want to find love and all this stuff. You're a target. You know what I'm saying? Look at this society like a gun range. You know what I'm saying? A gun range. And you're the target, you know? You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people thinking about that thinking, well, man, you're saying that they're hunting me down, they're shooting me. No. Yes, they are, but remember there's different type of rounds. There's hollow points, rounds that there are rounds that can't kill you, there are rounds that can. There's a lot of different rounds when it comes to ammunition and bullets and all that stuff. So they don't necessarily have to kill you to hunt you down. So and it's not a problem. A lot of men, the way they've been raised and thinking it's a negative. No, man, this is how it's always been. It's just that the society we're in, what it's deemed is to make men more efficient, we have to eliminate their their ability to have a family, to have a stable family. I've been telling guys there's literally generations of households where there's never been a father. There's never been a mom and dad. We're talking about over 50 years. It's straight, single mom, single dad, single mom, single mom, single dad, single mom, single mom, single dad. That's generations, you know? But let's get to the next chapter. The next chapter after Born Target, the next chapter, chapter 2, I have End of Manhood. End of Manhood. You know what I'm saying? I have a chapter called End of Manhood. You know what I'm saying? And what is end of manhood? What is EOM? End of manhood. What is that? You know what I'm saying? What is this end of manhood, man? What is that? You know? A lot of people are telling you, well, the end is religion and blah blah blah, all this BS. No, man. The end of manhood is when they take away your ability, you know what I'm saying? They take away your ability to experience your life as a man. You know what I'm saying? Your ability to make choices as a man that feed upon your sexuality, being a straight man, that feed upon your choices, the choices you could make. In the End of Manhood chapter, I focus on the Civil War. I focus on when they ended polygamy, when they ended prostitution. I focus on all the aspects that they don't tell you, man. The society won't tell you this. They're going to tell you, well, we don't have freedom. We don't have freedom of choice. We're in a simulation. You want to know why they want you to admit you're in a simulation? So you can volunteer to be a victim. You know what I'm saying? Once you've accepted, well, I don't got freedom of choice, so let this grifter and scammer take my money. I don't have a choice. It's not like I have freedom of will, so I might as just give this person my money. I might as let this person scam me out and destroy my whole life because I don't have freedom of choice anyway. So, why does it matter if I don't have freedom of choice? You know what I'm saying? So why not just damn man, why not just you know why not just go with whatever they tell me to do? You know what I'm saying? Go with whatever they tell me to do because I mean I don't have freedom of choice. Think about that, man. Think about that. They want you to admit and choose that you don't have freedom of choice. And End of Manhood, man, I cover the laws that were made to basically strip you of your choices when it comes to manhood, which is like I said, prostitution, polygamy. You know what I'm saying? All the laws you know that allow you to be a man, allow you to be. It's even written in the Bible. What is it said in the Bible? Be bountiful and fruitful. You know what I'm saying? They stripped you of that, man. They stripped you of that. You know, they stripped you of all these choices. You know, and one thing I cover in the End of Manhood is this chapter. I cover the Civil War. A lot of men think all the Civil War was about, in America, it was about slavery. It was about, money and land. No, the Civil War was about ending manhood. It was about the government sending a message to all the female population and the men. And the message was we can make these men go kill their own family members. We can make men just go fight each other and destroy their own homes. Like think about the Civil War, what happened in the Civil War. And I cover this in the book that Britain ended slavery. Let me look at the chapter. Yeah, Britain ended slavery in 1833. 1833, Britain ended slavery. Now America, you know what I'm saying? America ended what is it? You know what I'm saying? America, I think it was 1861 the Civil War started. So America had knowledge of how Great Britain ended slavery for over 24 years. And instead, the country said, you know what? We want to send the men of our country to kill their own kin, kill their own family members, go to war. We don't want to pay them off. We don't want to just end slavery and let these men and their families be strong. Think about it. Think about the men in the North. Let's say, let's go back in time. Let's say you're a man from the North and you go fight and kill your cousin in the South that has land, that has mansion, a house, a manor. You just destroyed your family's wealth. You just destroyed your family's wealth. And for what? Because guess what? Your government didn't want to just pay people off for their land, their property. Nope, the government wanted to send y'all to war to kill your own family and destroy your own generational wealth. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the people in the Union thought, oh, we beat the South. No, you didn't win nothing. You destroyed your own wealth, your own family wealth, and you just gave the government more power than ever before. The Civil War was literally the beginning, the end. You know what I'm saying? It was when the government, and think about the Civil War. The Civil War was before the end of prostitution, before the end of polygamy. Uh, you know what I'm saying? It was before a lot of things. So they, after the Civil War, in less than 25 years, you get the end of prostitution. Then you get the end of polygamy. You get the end of I forget, you get the female vote happens with the same requirements as the male vote without the same liabilities. You know what I'm saying? Everything happened after the Civil War. That's why you listen to all these so-called red pillars and male gurus trying to help you. They say, well, man, the government interfered in the 1960s, 69, with no fault divorce and, a welfare state that's designed to take the father out the household. No, the end of manhood happened in the Civil War. The Civil War was all about making an example out of the men in America. It was about making an example. The government said we could do anything to these men, and they're nothing. They're worthless. We are the number one man. That's why a lot of guys come to me and say, well, I'm the most alpha male. I'm alpha this. You can't be more alpha than the government. The government is the ultimate alpha. Once the government stepped in and said, we're going to be the man, there's no competition. There's no such thing as any man being the most alpha. How you the most alpha when the government, an artificial alpha, is the ultimate? It's the infinite alpha, unlimited resources. You literally pay the government to be better than you. You know what I'm saying? Your taxes and all this stuff. You literally pay the government to be the better alpha. So the narrative that a man would come up to me and say, yo, hold the truth hostage, man. I'm a superior alpha to you. I laugh. There's no such thing as a male alpha. Once the government dips its toes into, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Thank you, brother. SP, man. My brother, man. My brother, let me share that, man. My brother, yeah. Yo, you already know, brother. You already know, man. Once the government steps into the rotation of manhood, it's over, man. It's over. There's no such thing as a alpha male. There's no such thing. You know what I'm saying? This is what the Manvantage is about. Your feelings. You gonna read this book, and you know, I even start the book and I let you know you either gonna hate me, you gonna hate me by the end of this book, you gonna understand it. Your whole life, this is a culture shock. A lot of people tell you a culture shock is when you step outside of your country. No, the culture shock is within your country. It's when you've been raised to believe all this stuff. Then that shatters your whole life. Since you were a child, your teacher telling, here's how to be a good man, here's how to be a great American, this and that. And then then you learn of what's truly going on, you know, and you get a culture shock. You wake up and realize everything in your life was a lie. You know what I'm saying? It's not you going to India, like you went to India. Oh my, I had a culture shock. They eat differently. They play different music. That's not a culture shock. That's just you experiencing something new. A culture shock is when your source, the culture you've been raised on, trained on since you were born, is shattered and destroyed. You know what I'm saying? And you can't go back. You could, like, if you left India, oh man, their food was different. It's not something I'm into. Everything was new. Guess what? You can leave India and return to how you were. Like, let's say you go visit India, you're from America, you're shocked and surprised. You're surprised by everything they do. Guess what happens? Once you leave India, you don't got to experience that no more. So how is that a culture shock? A culture shock is something that sticks with you and it changes everything. You know what I'm saying? And the culture shock is usually from your domestic surroundings. You wake up one day, like for example, in the United States right now, you wake up today, you've been raised your whole life of, men should stay out of the women's room. I mean, the women's bathroom, men should be respectful of other men's kids and this and that. Then you wake up and now they're promoting, well, if a man identifies as a woman, he can go into the female bathroom. He can go into where your daughter, your sister, your mom, your aunt, you know what I'm saying? He could go into that bathroom, a man who can overpower the females in your family can go in the bathroom, the female bathroom. And then what's gonna happen to that female that's from your family? Because another problem in the manosphere is the lack of sympathy, you know what I'm saying, for empathy. I mean, the lack of empathy that's promoted for the women because a mass majority of the manosphere is in a closet. There's a lot of closets. I can guarantee you this: in the manosphere, more men can build a closet than they can build a house. You know what I'm saying? They'll start off by I'm gonna build the closet first, then I'll build the house. Because to push a narrative that, all women are bad and negative, that means you're implying your mom. You're implying you can't have any empathy for any female relative. And what kind of man would be against females having apathy and attention at all from other men? It'll be a man in the closet. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing I've noticed a while ago. But to get back to the point is that, man, you have to understand that's a culture shock. A culture shock is the culture you were born and raised in, waking up to everything around you being destroyed. You know what I'm saying? That's the true culture shock. In all honesty, if you're in a manosphere, you heard about the red pill rage. That's what that is. The red pill rage is waking up and realizing that everything in your domestic surroundings was a lie. And it's gonna destroy you if you try to do anything. If you try to join it, save it, it will destroy you. But like I was saying, man, the Civil War. A lot of guys in this manosphere space that speak about, oh, society was changed in the 1960s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. They're just spewing out government propaganda. The way the government writes it, civilized and organized and good fathers all started in the 1950s, 40s, because there was no such thing as a good father or a good family man in the 1800s. There was no such thing. You know what I'm saying? 1700s, no such thing. You know what I'm saying? There was not a good man and a good family, a good father figure until the government started advertising with the corporations in the 1940s and so on. What a man is. You know what I'm saying? So that's chapter 2, man. End of manhood, And when you read it, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna learn some things, man. Like I said, this book is not for the faint of heart, man. I did not write this book from a point of sugarcoating it so you could be my best friend and, hey, hold the truth hostage. That book was so supportive and I love you. Yeah, much love. And no, I didn't write it that. I wrote this book where it will shatter your mind. You know what I'm saying? Everything you believed, you will have to question. You know what I'm saying? You will have to understand. In a way, like I said, this book is written from a mathematical perspective. And you can't and think about math. Think about math for a second. I'm gonna get back to math for a second. You can't spell man without an M. You can't spell math without an M. Man is math. You know what I'm saying? Man is math. You know what I'm saying? Man's first religion, man's first faith was math. You know what I'm saying? Everything you do is mathematical. You know what I'm saying? Everything. Your very existence is all math. You're either doing plus, you're doing either subtractions, additions, multiplications, division. That's your whole existence, man. It's mathematical. Let me see what the homie SP put, man. Yeah, Matthew. Look at that, bro. We're math, man. You're very think about it when you see another man. Like, what do? You see another man you don't know and you might potentially fight him or whatever. You weigh out. You look at his weight, you look at his size. You're doing all the math to see if this problem is worth it. And you start adding up, can I beat this guy? Can I fight him? How fast do I have to beat him before he beats me? Everything you do is mathematical, man. You know what I'm saying? But let's get back to the book. I'm just warming y'all up about the book. Chapter 3. Chapter 3, I go over something guys that have been following my channel know. You know what I'm saying? I created this word, the God verment. You know what I'm saying? The God verment. You do not live in a government. You live in a God verment. The way this government works, it's like a God like entity. It's all about sacrificing. Like, you remember the Mayans. If you look at the Mayans, that's kind of how our government operates. The government is all about sacrificing the good men, the good intentions, the good aspects of the strong, healthy men, mentally capable. It destroys them, and now it's promoting men that identify as women to go in the female bathroom. You know what I'm saying? Men that will identify as a woman to adopt a child. You know what I'm saying? Like, what they've done is they've made this is YouTube. They've made minor chasers. That's what I call it. I don't use the PDF file. That's what guys are using. I use the minor chasers. They've made it legal to be a minor chaser by either having a sexual transition or identifying as something else. That's the loophole to get you to legally be a minor chaser. There was literally a guy who, what I'm saying, he's a man former. That's my word. I call him man former. Man former means man who formally identifies as a man. So he's a man former. So they had a man former. He took medicine so he could breastfeed. He took medicine so he could breastfeed, and he adopted uh, a minor. You know what I'm saying? He adopted a child, and now he practices, you know, breastfeeding a child. You know what I'm saying? They promote this, man. This is how this government works. And my bad, my apologies. The godverment, and the reason I say it's a godverment is that notice that all these politicians will run as a family, man. They all run as family, man, but they won't adjust or fix the divorce court, the family court. They won't do nothing. They just keep it the way it is. Think about it. Donald Trump was divorced. I think Trump was divorced over 3 times. Never went to fix that law. Never. No one steps out of line. The way the godverment works, and how you could tell you're in a godverment, not a government, is that in a godverment, no person, like, look at America's history. You know what I'm saying? Ask yourself, when has any man, when has any man taken over the government? When has any man taken over the government, completely, became the face of it, took over, dictated everything? Never. That's the answer. Never. You could do that in a government. A government could be overrun, overturned, you know, by a leader, you know what I'm saying, charismatic, strong, whatever. A government could be overthrown, not a godverment. A godverment, which our government is aligned like a god, you know what I'm saying? And the way the government's aligned is it sacrifices you. And the sacrifices are children being drugged. You know what I'm saying? Children being drugged, growing up without fathers in a stable household, you know, growing up to their existence is suffering, unstable, all to feed this government, you know, this godverment that feeds off of it. You do not live in a country with a government. You don't. You know what I'm saying? I cover this in chapter 3. You do not live in a government. You live in a godverment. If you look at our government, it's designed like a religion. You know what I'm saying? And the reason I bring this up is think about this. I cover this in a chapter. Why would the American government, why would the government deem polygamy illegal? Why would the government follow suit with the church? Why would a doesn't the government have more to gain through polygamy? And you know what I'm saying, spreading polygamy and so on. That would mean more children will be born, more citizens, more taxpayers. Why would the government be against polygamy and align with the church when the church made it illegal unless the government considers itself a religious entity? Come on, guys. Come on, man. I've been talking about these things for over, 5 years. You know, I've been talking to some people about this. Think about it. Why would your government follow the church? Why? Unless that government believes itself to be a religious entity. That's why when people say, well, there's a difference between state and religion. No, it's not. There's no difference when your government views itself as a religion. You know what I'm saying? There's no such thing, man. I forget the word, the way they said, there's separation of, I think it's called separation of state and is it state and religion? I forget how it goes. But your government believes it's a religious entity. You know? So you're not in a government. You're in a God ferment. And you got to look at how all the politicians are sacrificing themselves. A lot of people like to look at politicians and say, yo, the politicians are just making money. No, the politicians will sacrifice themselves. Think about it. Trump was the president and been divorced over 3 times. And Trump, as president, did not change the marital laws, did not fix the child, the family court. He just accepted his suffering. He just continued this path of suffering. And presidents before him, politicians before him, they just accept it and go with it because above all, they must maintain the sanctity of the government. They must maintain the sanctity of the government. You do not live in a government. You're in a God ferment. Your government has a God complex. Once your government has a God complex where it sees its existence as an act of God, you no longer have a government. We've seen Cuba dictators, we've seen the Middle East dictators, we've seen communism, we've seen all this stuff, change and take over. The US, the laws here, the way the government is structured, it's a whole different, it's a religion. You're in a state that is a religion. You know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't make sense. Why would the state, why would the government want polygamy to be illegal when polygamy would allow more of their population to increase and they would have more taxpayers? There's no sense behind the government making polygamy illegal. But that's chapter 3, the God verment. And I'm telling you, when you read that chapter, it will all make sense. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, that's chapter 3, the God verment. Now let's go to chapter 4. Chapter 4 is feminism. Chapter 4 is feminism. That's chapter 4. And chapter 4, man, with feminism, unlike other men and like I said, me with my channel, man, I've been ahead. Like I've taken breaks. As you could see, I've taken a break, man. I haven't uploaded in a while. I haven't uploaded in a while, but guess what? My content I've created is over 50 years in the future. You know what I'm saying? I'm over 50 years ahead. This entire channel, the Hold the Truth Hostage channel, streams. I'm over 50 years ahead. I could be over, I could be over 1,000 years ahead. That's how this content I've created is. My content, I'm so far ahead of everyone else. You know what I'm saying? I'm so far ahead of everyone else that even if I stop making content, people won't catch up. They won't. They can't catch up to me. You know, you can't catch up to the Hold the Truth Hostage channel. You can't. This is why I got so many channels stealing content, quoting my stuff without crediting it, without telling, oh, Hold the Truth Hostage said it. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm ahead. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the homie JP, man. JP Hives. I was talking to JP way back when we were talking. And JP said, we got to keep moving forward, man. We got to keep going. We got to go. We got to keep going to the point where we can't even see a stop sign. That's why I pushed, Black Pill 2.0, 3.0. I got a stream called Black Pill 4.0. And pretty soon I'm gonna write a book. I got to work on it when I get the time. There's a lot of things going on, but I'll be writing a philosophy very soon. The philosophy will be a book that will you know what I'm saying, it'll change everything. Like the man vantage is, it lets you know your vantage point as a man. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to know any pills, nothing. This is probably the most normie friendly book ever in the manosphere. Normie friendly. I wrote this. You don't need to know anything about the manosphere to understand this book. The man vantage. You don't need to. But when I plan to write the philosophy book, the full-time ghost book, there's a lot of things to do, man. The man vantage is its own thing. I had to write something where you could give this to your little brother. You know what I'm saying? Well, not your little brother. I gotta write a book called The Boy Vantage. You know what I'm saying? For before you're a man, you were a boy. So I gotta write one because that'll be something else. But basically I recommend the man vantage for anybody I think about mm, maybe 18 and up. 18 and up, high school. Yeah, high school. The man vantage is really very high school orientated, you know. You know what I'm saying? I gotta write something called the 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 boy vantage. I gotta write that because I think in the manosphere, a lot of men don't understand the difference between giving advice to their fellow man and giving advice to some boys that are growing up. You got to understand, as a man, you're in your final form. You're in your final form as a man. Once you reach the age of 24, you're in your final form. To borrow Dragon Ball Z, a boy is in his base form. You know what I'm saying? He's in his base form. He's still, he hasn't reached his next form yet. He's still growing, still maturing. So the knowledge you have to give a boy compared to a man is very different. You know what I'm saying? Because a man, your body ain't changing, man. You're not growing, you're not changing anymore. You've reached your final form. You know, I've reached my final form. I'm in my mid 30s. I'm in my final form. You know what I'm saying? I've been in my final form since I was I guess I think you stopped growing around 24 or something. So I've been in my final form for like over 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Oh, the battery. Give me a second. Oh, oh man, the battery. Give me a second, my boys. Give me a minute. Oh, battery's about to die. Uh, damn. Give me a second. Battery. Oh, yep, she's back. The battery's back. Yeah, yeah. Well, let me hurry up with this stream. Got to go to work, so I'm a speed it up, speed up the stream. You know what I mean? Get things going. Like I said, man, vantage. So where was I? Yeah, I was on feminism. You know what I'm saying? Feminism. Chapter 4 is feminism. You know, and I'm not like these other guys. Like I was saying, I'm ahead. I'm ahead by over, and I'm not being, what I'm saying, I'm not being cocky. This is all fact. This is all fact, man. I've been ahead, man. I've been ahead of the manosphere since for a while. Over probably over 5 years. Over 7 years or so. I've been ahead. You know, there's no one that could tell me anything. You know what I'm saying? And I know they've trained you. Well, hold the truth hostage. A man who's a fool will tell you he knows all. No, man. A man who tells you I know I'm ahead of everyone else means I've experienced people that can't keep up. You know what I'm saying? If you're the fastest man in the world, what does that mean? You had to test it. You had to prove you're the fastest. Am I right? You had to compete with people. And I'm gonna tell you, on a mental race, I've been too far ahead, man. You know, I'm so far ahead that when I talk, people don't understand what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Until they live it. They're like, yo, hold the truth hostage, man. That black pill prophecy video you did was right. You were right, man. The pink pill, you were right. I can't believe it. You know what I'm saying? Some people I talk to, man, shout out to the homies in the Discord. Some of the homies will hit me up and be like, yo, you called this out like 2, 3 years ago, man. I can't believe it. Like word for word, it happened. I can't believe it. You know what I'm saying? Because I tell people, once you become void of emotion, once you're void of emotion and ideals, and look at the world from a more mathematical standpoint, predicting the future is not that hard. It ain't that hard. It becomes very easy when you're willing to look at things mathematically, you know. But like I said, I've been ahead, man. I'm probably over 1,000 years ahead, man. Who knows a million years, whatever you wanna call it. I'm too far ahead, man. But like I said, chapter 4 is feminism. I'm about to speed things up. I think I got about like 20 minutes left. I'm about to speed things up. But chapter 4 is feminism, man. And unlike the manosphere and all these men that are, a lot of majority of them in the closet, that are telling you to fear to blame women, to blame women for feminism, it's got nothing to do with women. Feminism is nothing more than a byproduct of the government and corporations. You know what I'm saying? How could how could women be blamed for feminism when when the men have always been in charge legally with with politics and all that? How can you blame the women for the no fault divorce laws when the majority of men or all politicians were men back then? How can you blame the women for polygamy being illegal when the majority, all politicians were men back then? Feminism is nothing more than a Trojan horse funded by the government. You know what I'm saying? It's weaponizing women without women even having any control. You know what I'm saying? At all. And then they put this in front of the men that will say, the same breath these men will say, we're the strongest, we're the smartest. Then these same men will say, well, feminism, man, it's the big bad boogeyman. It's so dangerous. It's such a big threat to us men. No, man, feminism has nothing to do with women. Any man who believes that feminism is actually controlled by women, you don't know the true, you don't really know what it means to be a man. This is men, man. We are men, man, and men have always been each other's number one competition, number one source of competition, one source of opposition. We are always our main issue and our main solution. Your fellow man could be your worst enemy and could be your greatest ally. That's all it is, man. It's just the difference where the westernized society got it compared to other societies is the westernized society, you could, I think my boy told me it was started with the Spartans. The Spartans were very from what my boy told me, very pro-feminist society, the Spartans. A lot of their decisions, like if you go rewatch 300, you'll see that his wife, you know, he put her in a position to tell him what to do. You know what I'm saying? I don't, and he did it. He attacked whatever. So how is it her fault? You know what I'm saying? This is a man-made world, man. Feminism is nothing more than a distraction for you to look away from the true person in charge, your fellow man. That's why the manosphere, it's the manosphere. Like I tell people, anybody in the manosphere, you know, you know what I'm saying. The manosphere, if it's not full time ghosting, and if it's not the, you know, the current state of the black pill is, you know what I'm saying, it's been infiltrated, man. You know what I mean? I've always told people this: the black pill is surrounded by the gray pill, the dark gray pill. You got the doomers surrounding the black pill. The black pill right now, man, and it's been this way. You know what I'm saying? It's been this way. Because I was introduced to the black pill, shout out to MD. I was introduced to that like probably a good I don't even remember, probably 6 years ago or five, I don't remember. But I used to make manosphere content for MGTOW, and a lot of times out, me and some MGTOWs were about, butt heads, you know what I'm saying? We wouldn't agree. They wouldn't agree with me because, I did a video on MGTOW a while ago, so MGTOWs run around with this narrative of you gotta fear women and run away, and like how you gonna run away from uh, you know, the very aspect of what we are as a species. Wherever there's man, there'll be woman. That's just how it is. And to put a narrative that we gotta completely avoid them, it's impossible. It makes no sense. You know what I'm saying? But we would butt heads, and then I realized when I got exposed to the black pill, I was like, oh man, all these years, when I was making my content, I was really doing a lot of black pill content, but I didn't know what it was, you know. But to get back to it, like I said, with feminism, man, you can't be blaming women for feminism. Blaming women for feminism is basically men not willing to take accountability. You know what I'm saying? My brother 30K was good, man. You know what I'm saying? Volunteers can't be victims. You know, man. You know, bro. You know what I mean? But the blaming of women, it's really a lot of men that don't want to take accountability for the actions of their fellow man. That's really what that's what this whole feminism is. Feminism is nothing more than the state. You know, I don't look at women as the problem. I don't blame women for what's going on. It is just, hey man, this is the game our fellow man wanted to play. You know, I've done a lot of streams on this. I've covered it. You could search the channel. I've explained. You know, a lot of laws are written from a male perspective. Like every law you have right now is written from a male perspective, and you put the male perspective into a woman's perspective, and a lot of times the male perspective will destroy a woman. It will eat her alive. You know what I'm saying? It will eat her alive, man. The male mind is not compatible with the woman mind. We're two different species, we're two different sexes and all that stuff. There's plus and minuses. And whenever you put the male mind, the way men think, into a woman, it will eat her alive. It will destroy her because the male perspective overwrites the female perspective. It starts putting this narrative where she starts comparing herself to men, and the more she compares herself to men, the farther away she goes from understanding she's a woman. And then it will eventually devour and destroy her. It's even been proven that when women are in the military with the men, they will become infertile. You know what I'm saying? They will literally become infertile. Testosterone, they'll age faster because they're chasing the destruction of their body. And even when it comes to thinking too much like a man, it will destroy her. It'll destroy a woman. You know what I'm saying? The male mind is poison for a woman, just as the woman's mind is poison for a man. You know, if a man starts thinking he's a woman, like you see these men identify as a woman, I should be allowed in a female bathroom. That's poison. That way of thinking. But let's go. Chapter 5, chapter 5, I focus on polygamy. About to start speeding things up. Polygamy, I focus on the positive of polygamy, the fact that polygamy actually allows more women to experience motherhood and not be left behind, because by virtue of being women, there'll be more women alive than men. You know what I'm saying? We men will fight each other, we'll do dangerous jobs, will go to war. By virtue of just being a woman, women are guaranteed to be far more of them than the men. You know what I'm saying? The men die, man. We're literally designed to die. You know what I'm saying? We're literally designed to die on behalf of our goals. You know what I'm saying? We're designed this way, man. We're designed to chase our goals to the death. That's why when you hear this narrative in the manosphere, oh man, we men need to be saved and care. We need more love, and it's bullshit. We men are designed to die for our goals. It's our design. You know, our private parts are not internal; it's external, and the private parts kind of tell you how we face the world. We're very external, our will against the world. You know what I'm saying? We're designed to die, man. We're designed to die, bro. You know, once you don't accept that you are by design, I think I'm forgetting the word. It's not die. Damn, I forget the word, man. You know, my brain's blinking out. But I said I touch up on polygamy on chapter 5. And trust me, man, chapter 5 it's gonna change your whole mind on why polygamy is important and the role it plays and you know prosperity because polygamy ain't nothing new. It's been here, you know. Chapter 6 I focus on prostitution. Chapter 6 is prostitution. I focus on what prostitution does, the benefits, the negatives, and you know what it can do for men and society in general. You know how it can save people and help, and you know I focus on that. So chapter 6 is prostitution, and I'm not talking about prostitution from the standpoint you got now. You know the negative aspect of it. Now I'm talking about how prostitution actually kept a lot of men in line. You know, men that didn't want to have children or men that didn't want to romance and all that, and men that didn't want to, it's not even want to, the option. You know what I'm saying? The option to get what they need. And the women too. They had the option to get what they need too. And, you know, the book, I explain it a lot, you know, more intricate, you know. And that's the thing about this book is that each chapter is different. You know, some chapters are literally 2 pages, man. I did not write this book with the intent of everything's got to be 5, 10, 20 pages. No, man. Some chapters are literally just 2 pages, and you know that I give you all the information you need. You know, but I said with prostitution, it was choice. You know what I'm saying? It was choice, man. And men without choice, a lot of men in the manosphere like to talk about, well, since prostitution was removed, it made it gate kept by the women. No, no, man. It made it gate kept by other men. You know, when you have prostitution made illegal, now you have to get the approval of another man, the father, to access the daughter. You know what I'm saying? There, there's so much, man. You know, there's so much. You know, you don't understand. You know, you got to go through. That's why I tell a lot of guys with the monkey branching, the monkey branch is a scam. How can a woman monkey branch when her father decides who she's gonna be with back in the day? Come on, man. But yeah, I cover prostitution, what's going on, what it's about, and you know what I'm saying? Very helpful. You would understand. Then chapter 7, I cover you know, women majority voters. I cover you know, the difference between a female vote and a male vote, and you know, the design behind the female vote and the male vote, and you know, the roles that played. And in all honesty, I mean, and one thing the you know the equalizing, and there's no such thing as equality, you know, between the sexes at all. No such thing. You know what I'm saying? Equality doesn't even exist. You know, between the sexes. You know, it never will. You know, in all honesty, it never should. You know, if you look at the natural order. But the thing is, you know, chapter 7, I cover women majority voters, and I cover the side effects of that. You know, the side effects of the female vote equalizing to the male vote, and yeah, you can look at the United States alone. You know, some communities literally have over 70% children born out of wedlock, over 80% single mother homes. You know, but when the men were the absolute law and order when it came to voting, and the government actually had to keep its word because the males, when men are the only people voting, the government sweats. The government sweats and it has to honor its word because the last thing they want is the men to mobilize and say, you know what? Well, this government ain't working. You know what I'm saying? And men keep the government on their toes, you know. So chapter 8 is male private prison profit priority. I cover the male private prison profit priority of how the male private prisons are just all about making money, man. This whole society, and let me highlight what the homie 30K said, and I've been saying this is volunteers can't be victims, is that the majority of the society and the system is designed to get a man in prison for the government to profit off of that prison slave labor. You know what I'm saying? So I cover that with chapter 8, male private prison profit priority, you know. And when you read that chapter, you'll understand that volunteers can't be victims. You'll see how everything intertwines, and it'll open your mind for you to see. Because a lot of times they train you, well, you know, the prisons are for the blacks and the minorities. And, you know what I'm saying? That's the Trojan horse, man. That's the Trojan horse. The prison is for men. You know what I'm saying? Now, can some men go to jail sooner than others? Others, yeah. You know, that's a part of it. Yeah. You know, some men will have easier access to getting in prison than others. Majority rules. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Then chapter 9, I cover manhood fears. Chapter 9 might break a lot of people because chapter 9 is all about why you fear your manhood and why that fear is actually the number one thing you fear in this world is your manhood. You look in the mirror and you're terrified. You see a man and it scares you. You know what I'm saying? It scares you to understand that you're a man. You know what I'm saying? So chapter 9 is manhood fear. And I explain why you're terrified of being a man. Because the majority of men in this society, they're scared and terrified of being a man. You know what I'm saying? And if you understood what manhood was, a lot of things would make sense. You'd understand that, you know, for example, you know, let's say you have a divorce and you lose your child. You know, what did you lose? What did you lose as a man? You know what I'm saying? Nothing. Because let's be honest, you know, and this is where I understand what women are saying. A woman had to carry that kid for 9 months, you know, 9 months inside of her womb. What did you do besides just provide the seed? Something that usually takes you a couple seconds, you know, nothing, you know. So what do you lose when it's so easily replaced? You know, that's why if more men were to honor their manhood, a lot of these divorce cases, a lot of this child support, it wouldn't mean nothing, you know. It wouldn't mean nothing because if women in this country were to look a man in the eye and understand that, yeah, that's a man. That man does not care. You know what I'm saying? That man does not care about anything that he could easily replace by being a man. You know what I'm saying? What value would child support have when the father's like, well, you put me on child support, that child's a bill, and I don't take, you know what I'm saying? That's a bill. I pay bills. I pay bills. I don't read bedtime stories to a bill. I don't I don't go to Disneyland with a bill. I don't go to a bill's class. That's a bill. Once you've made this kid into a bill, that's all that kid will be. That kid will never see me in their life until they're adult. Even if they're adult, they gotta ask me for my consent to see me. You know what I'm saying? They gotta ask for my consent to see me. If men were like that and say, "Yo, you turn my child to a bill," and I've been saying this in the manosphere for over 8 years. Once it's a bill, it's a bill. That's it. You know what I'm saying? You got grown men crying. I'm never gonna see my kid and my children. Y'all don't understand. I can't see my kids. Okay, so how hard is it to replace that? I'm a little silent right now, but how hard is it? Nothing. You know what I mean? The thing is, women are honest. I give women this. I made a video where I said women don't lie, and I stand by it because if you look at the way the society is designed and you read how they're talking, the society they're in, you're like, yeah, she ain't lying. The women gave birth to that kid, carried the kid in their womb for over 9 months. No man will know what that is. You shouldn't even know what that is. You shouldn't even try to know what that is to carry a kid in a womb. So when the woman says, yeah, I've been through the most, she's not lying. She has been through the most. She had to carry that kid for 9 months, then give birth. Women go through a lot, man. To give birth to a child, that's a lot of stuff. A lot of body altering, mind altering. Like it's a complete different thing. You know what women go through. But at the same time as being a man, you didn't go through nothing. You know what I'm saying? You didn't go through nothing, man. Your body didn't change in 9 months. You know, nothing changed about you besides emotional attachment and genetic attachment. Because like when you have a child, you're like, oh man, there's a connection there. You're like, oh man, that kid has my DNA. Like that's my seed. That's my child. You know, and you're shocked by that, and you're like, oh man, instinctively, I got to protect, provide. You know what I'm saying? And notice what I said. I said protect first. No, I've been saying this for over 5 years. Protect first. Most men now say, I got to provide. Why do you say provide before protection? Because you can only provide for something you can't protect. You know what I'm saying? So, this chapter right here in this book, man, chapter 10, manhood, chapter 10, damn, what chapter was I on? Give me 1 minute. Yeah. I said chapter 10, what I'm saying chapter 10, give me 1 minute, man. Got a little lost. Damn, where the hell is chapter 9? Chapter 9. Oh, wow. 28. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, chapter 9 is manhood fear. You got to read chapter 9. And right after chapter 9, manhood fear, which will decide whether you will volunteer to be a victim or whatever, I give you chapter 10. Chapter 10 is Manvantage living. Manvantage living. And I was this chapter I kind of make a 12-step approach to joke about the whole Jordan Peterson clean your room garbage. Manvantage living, I just tell you the society and how you could live, man. You know what I'm saying? The advantages of being a man and how you could live. You know what I'm saying? How you can live, bro. You know what I'm saying? You know, how you can live your life and what you can do as a man from the man vantage. You know, what I mean? So to me, man, you got to read this. Chapter 10 is extremely important. Man vantage living. And let me go to the last chapter. And man vantage living, like I said, I go through a lot, man. I go through domestic existence versus potentially more harm harmonious life overseas. I cover living overseas. I cover having children. I cover everything. I cover my first video, Live by the One Strike, relationships, you know, that Manvantage section, Manvantage living, oh, it's great. It's gonna truly help you out. I try to treat it like a 12-step program, you know. I was trying to have some fun with it. But yeah, Manvantage living, super important. And then I go to the last chapter. Give me one second, man. Then I hit the last chapter. Yeah, the last chapter is it is what it is, not what it should be. Understand that. Not what it should be, man. A lot of men need to accept it is what it is, not what it should be. As in, stop chasing idealism, man. You do not have the money. You do not have the country. You don't have the military. You're not a superpower. You will never be able to return the country to this so-called magical thing you're chasing. Even when this narrative you're chasing is government made anyway. A lot of men in this red pill are spewing red pill facts, the nuclear family, when a nuclear family is nothing more than a government byproduct. Nuclear family is a government byproduct. But guys, man, that's my time. Like I said, the Manvantage book is out, print. The reason I say you want to order the print is I never know when Amazon might take this book off. You know, I'm currently fixing my own website, whatever, but we never know. Even if with a website, I never know what Amazon will do. So with this book, man, you could take it with you. You can travel, and you can always have a point of reference. You know what I'm saying? A point of reference to look at. If you're gonna, like I've been telling a lot of guys in my channel for years, you could simp lapse. You could have a relapse. A lot of men don't get it. You can have a relapse and go do something stupid for the society again, you know? So the Manvantage, man, you could carry it around with you and try to avoid relapsing into society, into become volunteering to be a victim, you know? Volunteers can't be victims, man. You know, a lot of people don't, you got to understand how powerful that is. Volunteers can't, let me share, let me highlight what the, 30K said it, volunteers can't be victims, you know, like I've been saying, this is how this society's set up. It's set up for you eh, to volunteer to be a victim. That's how it is, man. And to me, I'm not here to have sympathy, apathy. I should not feel no apathy or sympathy for a man who volunteered to be a victim. I should not. You know, you got to look at the world we live in. There are over 7 billion people on this world. You want me to focus on the people that volunteered to be a victim? Come on, man. It's a waste of time and energy, you know, when there are people that didn't volunteer to be a victim, you know. But like I said, man, pick up this book. Let me know what you think. And to me, man, it's just supporting. And most importantly, it's a way for you to just, you know, show that, yo, you do want this information. A lot of men in the manosphere, I remember when MD came out with his book, he came out with his book, The Black Pill, and these other books. And a lot of, when he was selling them and saying, get his book, they try to call him a grifter. They try to attack his character for selling a book because the society you're in, The society you're in, my friends. Let me see what the homie 30K. Yeah, red pill teach men to make money to become a high value man just so that they get screwed in the end by the court. Yeah. But you gotta remember 30K, there's no such thing as a high value man. That's a high value target. You know what I'm saying? HVT, high value target. That's what they're training you to be in this society. But the reason I say, man, I remember MD came out with his book. They tried to call MD a grifter. They tried to say, oh, he's trying to rob men by selling a book. Because here's what they fear about the black pill. You know, I remember when MD's channel got monetized, and I said, "This is great. This is great news, man. I'm so happy. I'm so proud. I'm so happy for you because now you're gonna prove what they fear the most. What they fear the most is when honest men, you know, are being supported. They want you to support the constant grifting, the liars. They don't want you to support an honest man. They rather you support a corrupt business person than an honest man. An honest man who doesn't have a corporation behind him, who isn't big. They don't want you to support guys like MD's books. You know, they don't want you to support this book, The Manvantage, because they want you to only support the corrupt, and the corrupt wear suits. They want you to support the same type of people that have been robbing and stealing from people forever because they want their opportunity to rob and steal from you as well, scam you. That's why they fear these type of books and stuff like that because hey man, I'm just giving you the information and you do what you got to do with it. I'm not trying to say, well, buy this book. Then, if you subscribe to my $199 cap, we could go further. No, man. I'm dropping this book, bro. I put all the information I can. This is the most normie type of book. This is normie approved. I should have stamped normie approved. It's normie approved. A normie could read this book. I made sure the Manvantage was my first book because man, this book could save lives. I remember when MD wrote his book and said it could save lives. He's not lying. When we write the books and we write it from a perspective that is void of emotion, a perspective that is mathematical, that just tells you how things are, it will free you. You won't end up a slave to these fast food psychologist websites. You know what I'm saying? You'll be free. They don't want you to be free, man. Yeah, this is normie friendly. I made sure Manvantage is normie friendly. A normie could read this and be like, "Oh shit," you know. But the thing I'm telling you is this, man. You know, this thing has all the information I could put on it that's normie friendly. The next few books I'm gonna be writing, they will be more, pill heavy. I gotta write the full time ghost. I gotta write the philosophy. The philosophy book will be these books. The next few books will be very, very, it'll be life altering. You know, and this is life altering as well. But it's normie friendly. You could give this to your college friend. You could give this to your friend that's divorced, whatever. This is a normie friendly book. You know what I'm saying? You could give this to anybody, college friend, whatever, man. This is normie friendly, normie approved. And like I said, man, this is what they fear. Just normal guys, guys like us with no corporate backing. I'm not looking for no corporate support. You know, I released the book. All right, man. Go, here you go, homies. Get it, read it. Tell me what you think, and it'll help you with your life. Keep it with you. You know what I'm saying? All honesty, these books are like, you know what I'm saying? When you get approached by the people telling you your toxic masculinity, you just flash this book at them like you're trying to repel a vampire. Just, yeah, I don't, they say you're toxic masculinity. Hey man, I'm reading the Manvantage. None of this. I read these type of plans. Chapter this doesn't affect me. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, man, every day there's over billions of dollars being spent to have you return. You know what I'm saying? Return to your male entrapment. So now you got a book, man. Now you could take this with you wherever you want to go in life, whatever you're doing. I'm not selling no scam to tell you, well, you read this book, you'll be the most successful man in the world. You'll be a millionaire and all that stuff. Nah, I'm not doing none of this crap, man. You know what I'm saying? Well, I guess it's like a man's Bible. You know what I mean? This is a manhood Bible of a book. With this book, your manhood should be safe. You know, you'll know you'll always have a point of reference for safety. Yeah, manhood. You know what I'm saying? And it's got some black pill inspiration, but it's pill free. This book is pill free. I made sure I didn't include any mentions of the pills at all. I just went to the point because the problem with the manosphere right now, like I've been telling guys, the problem with the black pill right now, you can't tell anybody to look for black pill content. You can't. We got guys that are not straight. We got, what is it? I'm not gonna say his name because there's trolls that come and all that BS, but we literally got men saying they're androcentric black pill. Here's the androcentric black pill, and they're having sleepovers with man formers. Man formers. You got men sniffing used panties, and they can't even confirm if the used panties are from women. You can't really send people to the black pill, man. You got wheat waffles. You got so much infiltration. It's a trap. The black pill now, in all honesty, you send someone there now, it's just gonna destroy them. You know, there's too much infiltration in that path. So that's why I've done the full time ghosting. I'm like, all right, man. At least, at least if somebody's here and I'm talking to them, I speak my words, and they want to learn from it or add to it. Feel free. At least the I can control what's going on around me. You know what I'm saying? On my own orbit. Now with the black pill, if I was to send you to the black pill, man, there's not a man here that could tell me like where are you gonna go? Where are you gonna go for black pill content where there won't be infiltration? There won't be men that are in the closet. You know what I'm saying? Oh my brother, man. The homie Gauss was good, man. The man himself, man. The man himself, man. Gauss was good, bro. Me and Gauss were supposed to talk, man. I remember we were on a stream way back. I think we were talking about something. I forgot. But the thing about the black pill is this, man. It's sad to say, man. I predicted this. I told guys the majority of black pill content is either, gray pilled or in the dark gray pill where men are telling you to get plastic surgery to keep your wife. You know what I'm saying? Get plastic surgery, get bone lengthening surgery to keep your wife. When Tom Brady was 6'5", 6'4", chiseled chin, handsome man, couldn't keep his wife. You know what I'm saying? If Tom Brady can't keep his wife, you're gonna go get your bone lengthened to look like a weirdo, and you're gonna hope that they'll let you keep your wife. Get the hell out of here, man. You know. But that's why I tell people, man, the way I do content, hey man, people will stay, people will go. And the way I do content is that I will eventually offend you. You know what I'm saying? I will eventually offend you. And when I offend you, you will have a choice. You will either stay or you will leave. But I will offend you. Because the reason I'm going to offend you is that I'm just in the pursuit of mathematical approach to life. And when you look at math is infinite. There are infinite numbers with math. So it's only a matter of time. You might be with me, you might be, listening to this content, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, just break your legs, bro. Just break your legs. Oh, the homie Gauss, man. Thank you, man. Thank you, bro. Thank you for the, what I'm saying, the super chat. Much respected. Thank you. And look at the homie SP, man. SP, you already know, bro. But yeah, the thing is this, man. The way I create content, a lot of people don't get it, man. I offend myself, man. I've been you gotta understand, and I tell a lot of guys this, man. It took me over 20 years, man. Took me over 20 years to get to this point, man, to understand things. You know what I'm saying? I've had my moments where I simp lapse. That's what I call it. Simp lapse is when you relapse into the system. Like you know what I mean? I'll tell you a story, man. I told some of the homies this story on Discord, but I was at a bar once chilling with a chick and and I helped her walk home, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I helped her walk home. She was hammered. And I helped her walk home and when I got to her apartment, she tried to just take me in the elevator, drunk as hell, man. She tried to take me to the elevator. I walked her home and just put her in let her go in the elevator to her own room. Luckily, there was security. The security guard there saw that I just put her in a elevator, let her go home. I didn't go inside. She was too drunk and hammered. But then I thought about it. I'm like, yo, man, how could I do this, man? I simp lapsed. There's Uber. She's got family. She could have called somebody. I set myself up, man. You know, thank God I'm not a religious man, but you'll hear the God thing. I was raised, so it'll pop up. But man, luckily for me, she remembered that, I didn't sleep with her that night. I just walked her home, let her go on her elevator and I just kept it moving, man. I simp lapsed. I simp lapsed, bro. And I'm telling you, I simp lapsed like probably 3 to 4 years ago. I simp lapsed. And when I had that moment, I was terrified. I was like, oh my God, all this stuff I'm doing in the manosphere, and I really simp lapsed, man. And the reason I tell you this story is that, man, to let you know, bro, hey, man, I ain't no perfect dude, man. I'm not perfect. You know what I'm saying? While I'm doing this content, I'm kind of keeping myself stable, and then I'm offending myself. You got to understand, man. A lot of guys in the manosphere don't understand. We have more experience. I have over what is it? Over 25 years of experience simping and being a part of the system. 25 years, bro. You A lot of men need to understand. You will always, until you get older, maybe me at 60, 65, 70, I'll have more experience not simping than I do have simping. But I'm just being honest with you, man. You have more experience. You have more experience simping than you do not. You know what I'm saying? Depending on when you arrive to this whole way of thinking, you have more experience simping. Oh yeah, yo, 30K, man. You know, bro. I'm being honest with you, man. You know, that's what happened. Luckily for me, man, there was security, a camera, and this chick remembered I didn't sleep with her, you know? And this was like I said, probably 2 or 3 years ago. You know, and whenever I see this chick, she always reminds me like, "Oh, you were so nice." And I could tell, I speak female. I could tell she's upset that I didn't sleep with her, and but she always reminds me, "You didn't sleep with me. You brought me home safe. You cared, but I can read. I know what it is. But I tell you this story because, man, we will all simp lapse, man. But you gotta be careful because all it takes is one simp lapse to end you. That's it, one. So I didn't dodge a bullet, you know. I dodged a nuke, you know what I'm saying? By the luck of the gods, I dodged a nuke. But that's why I create this content and I be telling people, man. I'm not I'm While I'm telling you this stuff, people be thinking, well, he's wrote a book and he does all this content. He must not be hurt by this stuff. I am, man. I've been a simp for like over 25 years, bro. I believed in the happy ever after crap. You know what I'm saying? I believed in it. You know what I mean? I wanted to live it. I had a plan. My plan was to avoid the state. My goal was I'm gonna meet a nice woman, whatever, you know, and the only thing I won't be doing is I won't be marrying under the government. I would just get her a ring, something, we together and that's it. But I didn't understand at the time that there's common law marriage. The government will do what it was designed for. One way or another, they will have you, they will gladly accept you being volunteering to be a victim, you know, whether you volunteered to be a victim through them or when they come for you, one way or another. I thought, you know what, if I got married, but I didn't get married with the state, it was just me and a woman. We did our vows and all that stuff. I'd be good. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't thinking about child support, none of that. Wasn't thinking about the state or none of these things. I was like, all right, if I just do it mano y mano, meet with the woman, talk, we'll be good. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't understand all the math. I didn't understand everything. And yeah, I tell you, I dodged it, man. I dodged it. And now I understand the rules. I understand the rules is that, you can't lose if you never play a game. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you don't go drink and enjoy yourself, man. Like I tell people, man, there's nothing more than I enjoy than being around a woman's company. You know what I'm saying? You hug a woman, talk to a woman, that energy. You know what I'm saying? That energy is built, great, relaxing, you know. But at the end of the day, I know the limitations. You know, if you follow this channel, you know what I've said. You know, we're in the age of no term relationships, no terms or temporary relationships, temporary terms. I know the rules, man. Since I started this channel, I knew the rules. I made a video. You could look at it. It's called "Live by the One Strike." Live by the one strike, man. You know what I'm saying? And I knew the rules, bro. And the rules tell you, you know, See what the homie 30K said. These Western governments ain't messing around. The only winning move is not to play. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, man. I look at it like this, man. You got to understand. You'll enjoy yourself, but you got to leave. I said what the full-time ghosting thing is. The number one rule of full-time ghosting is no liabilities. And when you can't have liabilities, you can't have a relationship. You know what I'm saying? You can't have a long-term relationship because it's a liability. You know what I mean? It's a liability towards your freedom. And a lot of men don't understand that. In the West, the solution is loneliness. The solution will always lead you towards loneliness, in the West. This is why inevitably you will have to leave the West. You will have to go overseas to leave loneliness. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, with the homie, yeah, yeah, play abroad, yeah. And the thing about abroad is a lot of men think be going abroad is going to China, Japan, Thailand. Dude, you're in America. If you just go across the border to Mexico, that's abroad. Or if you go to the Caribbean islands, you know what I'm saying? That's abroad. Abroad is not that far if you're in America. The problem is a lot of men are watching this YouTube content, fly to Thailand and blah 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 blah. Dude, the Mexico's over there, the Caribbean islands is literally a few miles away from Florida. You know what I'm saying? It's not that hard to go abroad, you know. But like I said, man, in the West, the solution will always lead to you being solo. You know what I mean? Liabilities. The full time that's a book I will be leaving very soon. I'll put a vote. I'll need people to vote and tell me what's the next book. It will either be the full time ghosting or the philosophy. You know what I'm saying? Because people let me know, and the reason I'm writing these books is that you can take these books with you, man, anywhere. You know what I'm saying? At Tijuana Max, and yeah, you know what I mean? You will. The thing is this, man. You can't change this country. You don't have the money. You don't have the power. Look at Jeff Bezos. Before I got sleep, but Jeff Bezos worth hundreds of billions of dollars. Look what happened to him. You know, what is Jeff Bezos compared to America that prints the money that he's using to define his worth? You know what I mean? Jeff Bezos is worth $100 billion. If Jeff Bezos is worth 100 billion, then how much you think America's worth? Trillions. Come on, man. Trillions. Then the military power and all that. You will not change anything, man. You know, I've been telling guys this. I did a video. You could check it out years ago. You know, the only protest men can win in the West is to not breed. You know, the number one form of protest that's happening is population starvation. It's when men just refuse to have kids. The birth rate will just drop. I've been saying this for over 10 years. Since I was on uh, Reddit. When I was on the MGTOW Reddit, I would say the no. This is why I'm telling guys I'm ahead. I'm so far ahead. People just you can't catch up, man. You can't catch up to a spaceship that's flying beyond the speed of light. You know, I've been telling guys this since Reddit, and when I was telling guys in the MGTOW server, the only way men will win is to basically take the birth rate to zero. You know what I'm saying? Do not supply the government with your seed ever. Starve it. Let it starve. The government will eventually, it's gonna have to make a choice. It's gonna have to make a choice whether it wants to die silently. You know how many countries are literally dying right now? because the men are saying, nah, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? And remember, we're men. You know what I'm saying? You know how many men are, we could play video games our whole lives, you know. I could play Sims, a simulation where I have a family and all that, and I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I'm good because as a man, you don't have a fertile clock. So you don't care. This is why I said we're designed to we're designed to die anyway. You know what I'm saying? That's not the right word. I forget the word when you're disposable or whatever. Our life is disposable as men. You know what I mean? We could dedicate our lives to anything. Look at Japan. I heard Italy. Look up Italy's birth rate. Look up Italy. Italy is actually, I heard, worse than Japan. Italy is literally losing its population. Italy's dying, you know, because the men out there, they're not breeding. Then in here in America, the black men in America, I heard the sperm donors, black men that donate sperm are just at 5%. 5%, man. That's when men are winning. Men win as the birth rate plummets. The more the birth rate plummets, the more men are winning. Because the government can't win that war unless the government plans to start cloning people and all that and start having a boot camp where they raise clones or something like that. You know, the thing is the birth rate. There's a lot of countries dying right now. You know what I'm saying? That don't even have another 50 years, 100 years, because their birth rate is so low. Their population is dying. And the men there are just chilling. They're just chilling, man. But man, like I said, I want to thank everyone, man. I want to thank the homie C.1. Want to thank everybody for the support, man. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what the homie said. The homie 30K old, man. What's your take on AGI, artificial general intelligence? A lot of experts say it will replace labor. Oh, 30K, man. I've been planning to do a stream on AI. Artificial intelligence. It isn't gonna take over, man. You know, in actuality, before I leave, and I'll do a stream on it. The thing is this, and I said this on. If you really want to look at my thoughts, this is why I say I'm ahead. Before AI even happened, I did a stream called the Infinity Pill. The Infinity Pill. You know, now I don't do many of those streams because there's a lot of thinking, thinking at a super level, you know, beyond. The thing with AI is this, man. AI will allow us to fulfill our goal as a species, which is to populate. A lot of people don't get that labor, jobs, work, a lot of that. The reason we work is because we have to. We don't yet have the solution to not work. And what the government and the world's gonna struggle with is that how do you, this is why I say universal income is coming, is that how do you take care of your population when their job is gonna be to just repopulate, have children, and exist? You know what I'm saying? As for AI taking all the jobs, that's a lie. That's a scam. I've been using AI for over 2 years now. Chat GPT, you name it, I've used it. It's a scam. You're telling me with AGI, remember cars right now, there's a shortage for car parts. You're telling me these AI manufacturers will get the metal before the car companies? You know what I'm saying? They'll get the metal, the technology before all the other industries. Then they're going to replace all the people so they can't make any money. They've even taken it back. I predicted this on previous streams and talking points. They're taking it back. They're saying, no, it won't take everyone's job because they know it's not profitable. If the AI will lead to, or or as my homie calls it, digital intelligence, or take everyone's job, then how will a corporation make money? If we're hiring nothing but people that work that can't buy anything, the human being working can buy things. The machine can't. You know what I'm saying? Then the competition for the parts. But I'll do a stream, man. I'll do a stream very soon on AI, and we'll talk. I'll show people what's going on. But it's been hold the truth hostage, man. Uh, I want to thank everyone, and I look forward. Please, man, if you can, please review the book, man. Let me know your thoughts. People got the Discord. You know where to reach me. We could talk. Please review it because when MD made his book, The Black Pill, this is what we need, man. When I told MD this, when he made his channel got monetized, it made them hate MD even more because they saw MD getting support, getting paid, whatever, and they believed that the truth would never be supported, that their time running scams and robbing people would always be the standard. Because why would you support an honest man? You know what I'm saying? Or an honest effort, whatever it is. Why would you support that when you could just keep buying into the same scams forever? So, but like I said, man, I look forward. One of the homies reviewed the book like back in October when it was just digital. You know, I want please, if you can, do me a favor. And the thing is this: if you got Amazon Prime, the book is free anyway. The digital, you can read it free on Amazon Prime. You know what I'm saying? Just please leave a review. Let me know your thoughts because you sharing your thoughts will kind of show the world what's going on. You know what I'm saying? It will open more eyes. I'm not here to save, like I tell guys, I'm not about idealism. We're not going to save millions of men and this and that. I'm not here to give you that scam talk. We're going to save billions of men, no. By you reviewing it and you keeping the book, like I said, keep the book, buy the physical for yourself because the honest truth is we never know what Amazon will do. You know, in a society where they want men imprisoned and jailed, you know, and AI is happening, the artificial intelligence might read this book and say, yeah, this book is bad. This hold the truth hostage guy, yeah, he's being too mathematical. He's any man who reads this book will become emotionless, will become void, and will just enjoy their lives. They don't even care about what's going on. Because the thing is this, man. One thing the government fears, the Godverment, one thing the gods fear. You could look it up, stories of, I used to watch Hercules and God's fear. What gods fear the most is the loss of prayer, the loss of worship. And if you become a man where you don't care, you're not involved with this government and what's going on, you don't give a damn. You just spend your money and do what you gotta do. And whatever you want, you understand that to get a family, the personal is off the country. Once you know these rules, man, you just take advantage. Because right now in America, man, America is a great place for business. Great. The American dream, great opportunities for business. Now, family, yeah, America has stripped family. Family is no longer a part of the American dream. You can have the White House and picket fence, but you can't have a family with that. You know what I'm saying? That's the truth. You know what I mean? The truth is that you can still have that White House picket fence, but you having your own son named Timmy, and a dog named Lassie. Where's Timmy? Oh, Timmy's in the well again. God damn, man. I can't believe my son is that stupid. He keeps falling in the well. You ain't gonna have that no more. That's done. America is deemed family obsolete. You know, family has been obsolete in America for over 50 years. I'd say over 80, over 100 years in my opinion. But you gotta read the book, that chapter, you know. But like I said, man, thank you, and I hope everyone has a great day. And I said, man, live. You know, you gotta take the man vantage. You know, take the man vantage point. You know, and like I said, this has been hold the truth hostage, where if the truth was so important, we wouldn't negotiate with lies, and full-time ghosting is not an option, it's the only choice. Peace, man. Y'all be safe, man. You know what I'm saying? And again, thank you for the support.
They said the truth won't survive beside the lies that maintain the decaying faces of this